Welcome to This Week in Baseball Player Profiles as we continue with High School Rivalry Week. And we're going to bring in Coach Todd Olmsted from Derby High School and Coach Brian Classen from campus. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Good.
I appreciate you guys coming in on obviously one of the coldest Saturdays that we've had in the winter. And we're going to talk about your programs and your rivalry. We'll start off with Coach Olmsted. Tell us about your background.
Military kid, moved to Kansas in '84. Went to school in Derby. Came back to coach in Derby. Played at Cali and Pitt State. I've been there for 23 years now.
All right. Coach?
Yep. Dad was a teacher and coach, and my mom was a teacher, and I swore I was never going to be a teacher and coach, and here I am. But grew up in Udall, went to Tabor College, played baseball there for 4 years, and then spent 1 year as a student assistant. And then had one interview after college, and it was in Hayesville, and ended up 22 years now I've been there. Been the head coach 16 years, so really enjoying it. Time has flown by, and doesn't feel like I've been doing it that long, but
Right.
so.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that was good. So last season, Todd, COVID. How did that affect your team overall, you think? The players, or how would your team would have done, you think?
I'm not sure. We would have been fairly young last year as far as experience goes. I think it really robbed us of that year of just getting better. You know, we couldn't practice. You can't do anything. And, you know, summer is about playing. It's not about practice and doing those things. I had two seniors, so they said we were, you know, I'm not sure how that would have went with them, but you know, I think we would have been okay. We didn't have a lineup like he did, but you know, I feel bad about that. You know, but yeah, lost a year. It's practice.
Right. I hear you. Coach?
Yeah, we were loaded last year. If we wouldn't have won state again, I probably needed to be fired. But we had all six kids coming back. Then I had two kids move in. I had a kid named Tate Rico that would play JV the year before. He was going to step in and take over shortstop next year, and he's the real deal too, going to Butler County. But we went 23-2 in 2019. Last year we may have been better. So, you know, it stinks. Kids didn't get to play. It was pretty depressing for a while. Try not to be too greedy. You know, we won it in 2019. I kind of try to focus on that as opposed to not getting to play last year. It would drive me nuts, but that's all I thought about. But like he said, you know, we really needed to play last year because this year we're young. I'm going to start quite a few sophomores, I think. Those kids didn't get to play last year. High school baseball as a freshman, they needed that. They didn't get it, so they're kind of going to be thrown to the wolves this year, and it's going to be sink or swim, and it is what it is. You know, everybody's in the same boat.
So what are your expectations for this season?
Yeah, you know, in 2017, yeah, I think that was the year. Anyway, it's kind of the same boat we were in now. We started a bunch of young kids, and we won 6 games. You know, we were in games, we just had a hard time getting over the hump, I guess you'd say. We're kind of in that same boat right now. We're going to try to compete a little bit this year. I've got some nice players, some kids that can play. They're just inexperienced and young. And in our league, it's tough to win with kids that are inexperienced. Even though you're talented, you know, when Jack Hartley and Tanner Leslie and those kids were freshmen, we were talented. They were just inexperienced. So, you know, sometimes it takes a little while. It depends how long, you know, that takes, how well we're going to compete this year. It may not be, you know, till next year that we're competing and winning. It could be the first, you know, month of the season this year. I don't know, but, you know, we'll see.
And about your expectations for you guys?
They're pretty high. We are going to be senior loaded with kids that have played well. A bunch of them you know, signed to go play at different colleges. And like you said, we're jumping into it right out the gate. Our first 4 games are against really good teams. I've got some experienced, you know, seniors on the mound. You know, we got a sophomore that could be pushing for catching time. Excuse me. You know, big kid, and I think he's going to be really good. But like I said, it's a lot of they're experienced now. We probably maybe one sophomore might be just with pure numbers.
Right.
So yeah, I think we should be pretty good.
Good.
So leads me into my next question. Name who are some of your top players?
Coming back for us, our catcher Luke Stewart. You know, he missed out big not the last year. His sophomore year, he put up ungodly numbers offensively for us. Reed Liston, he's going to Neosho. I've never had an outfielder get a jump on a ball like he does. I've had faster kids, but he runs balls down. It's like he can call it as soon as it hits the bat. That he knows he's going to catch it. He's going to be a huge part for us. It's Kate Snodgrass, another one going to Neosho. Grant Ash on the mound. He's going to be have to step into that role as our one, and I think he's ready. I think he'll be doing a good job. I got some juniors that I don't I think they're going to be really good. The Carson Klima, Luke Westerman. They just that last year was kind of you don't know
Right.
What I've seen so far, and watching from outside the window while they're preseason stuff, they look really good. So
Well, that's good. And Coach, what do you got?
Yep, I got a bunch of kids you haven't heard of yet, but hopefully that changes in the next year or so. But one of the names I talked about, Tate Rico earlier, he was a kid that in 2019 he played JV for us, and I'd said all year long that this kid, if he was with us this year on varsity, he'd be an all-league kid as a sophomore. However, he was stuck behind two all-state kids, so he ended up sitting and waiting his turn on JV. Last year, he would have stepped in for us, didn't get to play that year. So he's our kid. He's our senior this year going to Butler County. He's kind of jack of all trades, can play, multiple positions. He'll be our shortstop this year when he's not pitching. I got another kid, Brendan Baker. He's another senior, plays out here, Sluggers, 316 Academy. Good kid. He's college kid, probably NAI first baseman, pitcher, but got some other nice players. They just again haven't had any varsity experience yet, so we'll see how it goes this year.
Okay.
So I know my kids played at campus, and I know the rivalry is pretty good, pretty intense. Tell us about the rivalry between you and Derby.
Yeah, I don't know. When I first got the job, 20 or 16 years ago, became the head coach. One of the things I told my assistants was, I don't want to lose to Derby. So every year, it didn't matter where we played him in our schedule, I was throwing my two best. So it didn't matter if we played 2 days before we played them. I would save my two best arms because I wanted to beat Derby. I'd drive through that town on my way home to every day to go to Mulvane, and drive by their field and give them the bird or something. So it's it's intense. I think more so for the older generation. These kids nowadays, they play with one another during the summer and they're Snapchatting or whatever it is. They're buddies. So now I think it's kind of like you don't want your buddy to beat you, as opposed to I hate that kid, I want to kick dirt in his face. It's now I don't want my buddy to beat me. So, I don't know. It's friendly. Every year they've got athletes. Over there at Derby High, they got athletes. Running around, and we've had some success against them, but they've had some success against us too. So.
Right. So, what is your opinion of the rivalry?
I lived in the rivalry in Griffin. I think that's a fair thing. It's the older, when I was playing, Carl Hall and those guys. And we played in the summer though, we hated each other. You couldn't put the windows down in your bus. Things would be thrown at you. But I think, like Coach said, it's now that they all play together in the summer and they're all on their phones together, and but it's still, you don't, that's the same with you. Don't want to lose to each other, but I say that, but when I was applying to be the head coach, he was one of the guys that helped me out the most with, things that he does and like that. So, it is, when we're 10 minutes apart.
Right.
I mean, it is. It's
They talked about kids being buddies in 2019 when, they had the Adler kid and that kid could sling it. So Tanner comes in to, hey, we're facing Adler today. So yeah, did you talk to him on the phone? No, we were up last night playing Fortnite together. Playing video games together. Now we're playing each other. So
Right.
it's changed, but it's it's fun.
Right. So
Last question here. Give us a memory of the rivalry. One particular game. I know I have a memory, but give us the memory of the
Well, I
rivalry.
can tell you, for me, it was my first year as the head coach. And we played, they swept us in the season, beat us really bad probably both times. And we play them in the first round of regionals. We had a walk-off, not a walk-off, but a game-winning home run to put us up. And we went to state that year and took fourth. But yeah, that would be mine,
one big fun.
one big, because we
Right.
shouldn't have won that game.
Right. So what you got, Coach?
Yeah, Todd probably remembers this one. I don't even remember what year this was, but I had like a health episode before the game. Were you coaching yet?
Mm-mm.
We were at campus. It was one of my first 2 years, 3 years maybe, and I don't know. They thought I had Lyme disease from a tick. So we're getting ready to. I just get done taking in and out, and like my blood pressure's going through the roof. I'm like panting, I'm breathing. I can't catch my breath. My assistant's like, "You're this nervous about Derby?" I was like, "No, dude. I think I got something wrong with me." So it ends up our trainer takes me to the ER and calls my wife. My wife meets me at the ER, and they're running all kinds of tests. And they're like, "Man, your blood pressure's through the roof." And I'm like, "Oh my God, Derby's killing me. I haven't even played yet. They're gonna kill me." But it ended up being Lyme disease, so it wasn't Olmsted's Derby team I was worried about. But I don't know. We've had a lot of great battles back and forth. Him talking about them hitting the bomb out there at West Urban to beat us. I remember it like it was yesterday. Sitting in the dugout, the kid on the mound for us. I'm like, "Man, do I leave him in one more batter? One more batter too long." But it's fun and looking forward to it this year and down the road. And who knows how long we'll coach, but it's it's always a good time.
Right. I can tell you my fondest memory. My son hitting the grand slam.
You guys are undefeated. We were playing at Derby in the rain.
Yep. My son still
Has that ball. And I don't know if it's that ball, but he got a ball
got a
from
ball.
JC
Zach. Yeah.
And to this day, my son's 12 now, and you ask him who's your favorite campus player of all time, he says Zach Baxley.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah.
That's my father's memory of it, because I remember the next game you guys putting it on us. So it wasn't a good second game, but the first game we got the walk off, so that was good.
There's been several of those.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate both of you guys coming in, taking time this morning, and being on the show and discussing your guys' team. Next up will be West High and Northwest.